Welcome in to the Molasses Report. I got a good one this week. So, this one is about how last call is never really last call. It starts with the drink, or two, and maybe a song that gets stuck in your head. And then laughter swells, room tilts, glasses clink, neon hums, someone spills a beer, someone laughs like it's the first time they've ever felt alive. You notice the smell of the bar, the mix of the polished wood, spilled drinks, a hint of perfume or cologne. And you notice the warmth and the chill at the same time, the body heat of friends, the air conditioning that keeps the sweat and the energy contained. And you think, maybe this night could go on forever. But it won't. The clock whispers it, softly in the background. You walk home later, or you stumble home, or maybe you just don't walk home yet. Maybe you linger. Maybe you grab a friend's jacket because the air feels colder than it should. Maybe you lean on a railing outside and let the night breathe in you. This is the walk home that's never really about distance. It's reflection, memory, holding on to moments that are already slipping. And then that next morning, last call continues because last call didn't end at the bar, it migrates into the group chat where someone starts off by saying, "Did we solve anything last night?" Someone else answers, "I actually think we made it worse." And here's where the emotional autopsy happens. Memories are compared, statements clarified, tones reinterpreted. Wait, when I said that, was that mean? Was she crying? Did I text anyone I shouldn't? You read your messages like 5 times, scroll back, try to remember the jokes, the awkward pauses, the confessions you made or even almost made. You debate whether that emoji meant sarcasm or sincerity. Group chats are where last call became history, where history becomes narrative, and narrative becomes that was actually a really good night, even if half of it was chaos. There is a version of you that only shows up at last call, the honest one, the soft one, the tired of pretending one, the one who suddenly says, "I don't think I want this anymore," or the one who says, "I want this more than I care to admit." That version of you doesn't exist at 5 p.m. They show up when the night is almost over, when the music dips, when the pretending feels heavy. Sometimes that version of you surprises everyone, even you. You say something small, something true, and the world shifts for a moment. And you think, maybe, just maybe, this is who I've been hiding. Last call is full of almost. Almost texts, almost apologies, almost confessions. You think, I should tell him. I should say something. I should be honest. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you don't. And sometimes the courage fades in the Uber. Sometimes it lingers into the next day. There's a magic, though, in those almosts. The space between what you feel, what you say, and where that night stretches. It's where longing hangs, where regret and hope live side by side. Sometimes last call isn't about closure or relief at all. Sometimes it's about not wanting the night to end. You're laughing harder than you have all week. The music is perfect. The people around you feel like home. And the thought of actually going home feels heavy because home means silence. Home means being alone. Home means the night you're in the middle of just stops. So, you stay a little longer. You linger over one more drink, one more story, one more joke. Last call is stubborn. And tonight, so are you. You're not running from anything, but you are running towards this feeling, this moment, or even this company. And for tonight, that's enough. The hallway, the stairwell, the corner before the exit. These are all sacred last call confession zones. It's where someone always leans in and says, I probably shouldn't tell you this. Then they do, where words stumble out in the dim light, and the only witness in the echo of the room or the hum of the streetlight outside. Hallway confessions aren't always dramatic, though. They can be small. They're a joke about something you never admitted, a thank you for something you didn't know mattered, a whispered, I like this more than I thought I would. And yet, they often land, they stick. And somehow, in those little in between spaces, last call becomes sacred. Some nights, last call gives you moments you almost wish you could forget, though. Those moments where you overshared, or your foot said yes before your brain, and where your words were actually louder than your courage. And yet, those nights become stories, often the best ones. They're the funny stories, the tender stories, the stories you can tell yourself later, and the story your friends are going to tell later of how you were human, how you tried, how you felt. And in the end, remembering isn't punishment, it's proof that you were alive in the middle of it. Some nights, though, last call is only as good as the people who refuse to leave early. You always have that one friend who just starts saying, one more? The one who's going to sit with you in the dark corner when the music fades. The one who remembers you're there even when your voice cracks. These friends are anchors, reminders. The reason some nights feel endless in the best way. Because sometimes staying late isn't about you, it's about them. And sometimes it's about realizing that home isn't always a place, it's a presence. There's always that moment, though, right before you finally leave, where your coat is on, when your keys are in your hand, and you're triple checking that you have your wallet and card, and you look around one last time and see everything that the night gave you. It's fleeting, it's soft, it's a quiet pulse of gratitude, sadness, and hope. Morning changes everything. In the daylight, last call feels smaller, less dramatic, more understandable. You realize the conversation wasn't as intense as it felt. That confession wasn't as risky as it seemed. That moment you thought mattered. And it still does, but differently. Last call stretches emotion. Morning resizes it. And somewhere between the two, truth usually lives. But so, you're at the bar, you're having a great time, laughing with friends, probably harder than you have all week, discussing work, family, stresses, and then it happens. The bartender leans over the bar, gestures at the crowd, and says, last call. And it hits you every time. Sometimes in a whisper, sometimes with a hammer. You glance down at your glass. It's half full, half empty. Really doesn't matter. But that simple phrase shifts everything. The music is still playing, the laughter continues, but the night tilts, the air thickens. People suddenly check their phones, fumble with coats, and make excuses about early mornings. And you notice the way the room moves. Some hurry, some linger, some give each other knowing glances. It's a strange combination of panic, relief, and nostalgia all rolled into one. Because in that moment, you realize the night you've been carrying is almost over, and yet you're not ready. Then there's the quiet, almost surreal realization for the introverts in the room, such as myself, when you realize you made it. You're at the bar for last call, and you're alive. You're laughing. You're talking. You might be a little tipsy. You might be a little exhausted. You're a little messy. You probably spilled beer on your shirt. And tomorrow's probably not going to be fun. But you look around and you see the friends all around you, the ones who also stuck it out, the strangers who became momentary companions, the songs that carried you through, and the jokes that landed absolutely perfect. You think, I made it. I survived the night. I showed up. And in that moment, tension lifts. The weight of the week you've been carrying eases because making it to last call isn't about the drinks. It's about endurance, honesty, laughter, a presence, and a little stubbornness. It's proof. Proof that you can stay. Proof that you can let go. Proof that even when the night stretched a little too long, you were there to meet it. So you go home, you go to bed, and in the morning, by the time the sun rises, you've learned something. Even if it's small, even if it's messy, even if it's just, I can be present, I can be myself, I can let go, I can stay. Tomorrow, the memory of last call will linger. A reminder that life, like the night, is complicated, chaotic, beautiful, and entirely worth showing up for and hearing anybody say, it's last call. This has been the Molasses Report.